Yeah, so this is a company that's done these rings for me. You can see them here. This is going to be the wheel. They're obviously, and initially what we're going to do, we had three 2.5 meter 50, but you would have had a lot of tails on them, and what I mean by that is there would have been a lot of straight bits, so they suggested that they weld it all together and run it through the machine. So obviously there's quite a bit of overlap, as you can see here and here, but it'll make the basis of the two rings, and I think this should be something like 260, something like that, meters high. And then we can now weld them together. You can see where they've done them here, and then we'll go over and just double check all the welds. So this is the company. They make lots of lovely stuff here, staircases and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, metalled Schinken Janos. So we've made the two rings up. They didn't make them as complete. Well, they made them round, but they weren't attached, so we had to do that today. You can see we just welded this one up. Obviously it's all got to be cleaned up, and we've got them as circular as we can, but they still need some adjustment, or they're going to be kind of oval shaped. So we've got this one on the ground here and made up this piece to give us to make it properly round, but there's a kind of flat spot here. You won't be able to see it, but it is. So we're going to put 8 spokes in each wheel. This is only made up, you can see there's bits attached to each other. This is only just to get it circular, and we'll put brand new spokes in it, and there'll be 8 spokes on each wheel, this one, and they're probably not going to be far more than about 20. I would probably think they're going to be 25 centimeters apart, so the buckets will have to be made 25 centimeters deep. So you can imagine the other ring will kind of be about here, so the spokes coming up this way will only be about 25 centimeters. There's a couple of reasons for that. One is the weight. I want to keep the weight down. Secondly, I don't want too much overhang into the pool. As I said, the pump that's there will be just put onto this to make it rotate. You'll understand it better when we... So I've now found an axle, which we're going to pick up on Friday from the scrapyard. It's from an old bogie, or an old trailer it's obviously agricultural in some way. It's got really old-fashioned wheels on it, which is obviously the tires will come off, and we'll use the wheel in the center to make the hub. And then they've got it's a box section axle that's on it. You just can't find axles anymore, you know, like you do on the old cars, where there was an axle with a banjo differential in it. Most cars now have got some kind of independent IRS with springs in it, and a subframe, or drive shaft CV joints and so on. So what I really need is an old truck axle, but trying to find one's just near impossible. So this thing that I've found is probably the nearest thing to what we can do. This is the bogie wheels that we got. So see the bearing's really nice on that. Tire's hitting the ground, but really nice. And the nice thing is we only need one side, so we'll keep the other side on, and if anything ever goes wrong bearing wise, we can swap it from that side to that side, or we just undo these 4 clamp bolts here, you can see, and turn it round, because obviously we'll only be using one wheel, and we can use the base for it to sit on. This obviously is some kind of brake system. This would have been some brakes inside, but what's inside we don't know, so we'll have to cut the tires off and then clean the wheels up, check that the hubs are good and that, and then what we're going to do is put bars, 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter bars, and we'll drop them straight down onto the top of this. Actually looks like it's a split rim, that. Yeah, it looks like a split rim. I think it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a split rim system. It's 3 pieces. 1, 2. Yeah, okay. But we don't need a tyre on it, so we don't need all that crap. Yeah, take the wheel off, check the bearings are good, grease them all up. What I can do is put a grease point on it with a long extension cable so we can grease it anytime we want. But the kind of RPMs this is going to turn out will be very, very slow. But what we will need to do is, there's the rings there. You can see how big they're going to be. If you can see how big that ring's going to be. So some of that will be in water, just a little bit. And obviously there'll be 2 of them. And they should be sort of, I don't know, sort of whatever the width of that wheel is, that apart. So they'll probably be sort of in the region of sort of 20, 25 centimetres apart like that. Doesn't seem much, I know, but as long as it's enough to put a bucket on it. And what I'm thinking is rather than make the buckets, buy some plastic buckets to go on it, because with them being plastic, there's no corrosion to worry about. And I just get, it's going to have 8 spokes on it, so if I can sort of get 8 or 16 buckets, depending on how much it needs to move it. What we'll do is we'll build it down here, set it up down here, and then see how we go from there. And yeah, it looks a bit wonky, but I think it's because of the wheel. Yeah, the tyre's knackered. We've got to take them off anyway. So the stuff, if people have been watching in for a while, the stuff that I took to the scrapyard, the old motor from the compressor and the compressor that was knackered, that was just a basic swap. So we went down and cut this end off. Obviously it was up the other way. It was an old bogey trailer from a farmer or something. And yeah, so that'll make the bases of it. And then we're going to put a base underneath it so it counteracts the weight of this wheel. And I'm thinking with the amount of steel that's going to go in this, I don't think it'll weigh more than probably 250 kilos tops, I would think. Because we can lift those 2 rings with 2 of us. One person can almost lift it. It's that light, that stuff, that box section. What's going to be the hardest bit is to try and get them perfectly circular. Because they put them through the machine because they were sprung, and then we've taken out the bits. These are the bits that we took out. So you can see there's bends in some of them. But yeah, so that's the basics of it. You'll understand it better when we put it together. So what we'll do is do a dry run down here, make up what we need to make up. Oh shit, that leg's bent there, isn't it? That one's all right, but look at that. Oh shit, that's well bent. You see how it's going in? No matter, it's strong enough. But what I was thinking, it saves us a lot of time in all this welding this with a V-shaped piece. But that is well bent. Did it actually crack there? Oh, yeah. We'll try and straighten it up if we can. Really heat it and straighten it. Good. Oh, I know we're going to have a nut to do that. That's all right though. So, yeah, so I need to get that off somehow. There's a G-clamp maybe. The bearing nut will be in there. I just say J. Rinner. So, let's see what condition it's in. So I managed to get the grease cap off there. And there's the nut and the bearing inside. So get that split pin out and see how it is. There must be brake shoes inside there. There wouldn't be any point in having that braking system on it there. Lucky the bearings like they're almost new. No pitting on them, no cracks. This is the outer bearing, and the inner bearing is the same. Clean as a whistle. Dead lucky. Obviously, there's nothing on it braking, so we don't need to clean anything off. We'll just give the hub a clean out, put some new grease in it, and then put the bearings back in. That bearing must be... anyway, but it ran really well. So what we'll do is clean it off with diesel tomorrow, get it all cleaned out, all new greased up, and then turn it back up and put a new pin in it. As I said, it doesn't matter about the back plate being rusty or the inside of the hub, because it's doing nothing. And we just cut the braking system thing off it. Don't really, it's just extra weight. Good. Get that cleaned up tomorrow, and I'll use my plasma cutter and cut all that crap off it. As I say, it's just extra dead weight. I don't need it. And what we're going to do tomorrow is this ring is really, this locking ring, this one here, is really tight because there's a shoulder that goes under there and locks in. So what we'll do tomorrow is use the grinder and cut the tyre off, and that's all drop it. Then we can hit the ring, the outer ring, and it should drop down and give it a clean up. So, and then the other side, all I need to do is take the wheel off, and I'll just leave the hub as a counterweight. Obviously, because there's nothing going through it. It's no differential. It's just a stub axle, basically. That's it. So that's all for this this video. It's enough in this heat, and I'll catch up when we've gone a bit further and built this water wheel up. So this is going in the pool. It's 660,000 litres in there, so yeah, should look nice. It'll aerate the water, and we're not using anything, because the pump we would use to pump the water straight back to the pool that goes through the filter will just go onto this. So we're getting, it's not costing us anything extra. We get a bit of variation and it looks nice, a bit of motion inside the pool. So I'll catch up on the next video with this one. Take care, stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby.